Hey guys, it's Daniel's son, and this is not going well. So, like every smart project owner, I decided to rip out the engine and then find out how much the parts are going to cost that I need to replace. Now, obviously, the parts were extremely expensive, and that's where I ran into my first roadblock. I don't have enough money to finish this project, and it needs to get done, and I need to figure something out. Now, I'm not going to get into pricing just yet, but I can definitely tell you there are three things that are going to cost the most so far. So, the timing belt and the timing chain. Those two things, because there's a timing chain in the back for the cams, and then obviously the timing belt here in the front. That's a combo. It's very expensive. And then we have the turbo. It's probably going to be the biggest problem here. We can either get it rebuilt, or we can buy a new one, which is going to be like a cheaper Chinese reman, which I don't really want to go with that option. And then we have the flywheel and the clutch. That combo is also very expensive. Apparently there's no cheap options for these cars, and that's not great. And then on top of that is all the miscellaneous stuff just piling on the more I look. Now, all hope is not lost. As a mechanic, I have a very good option to make money, and that is to do some side work. Like I said, we're gonna get some side work, and I already have one lead. We're actually heading down right there right now, so hopefully he's waiting for us, and you'll see who it is. So this is Auto Magic. This is where Magic Mike, the mechanic, as you guys know, we used to work together at the Car Wizards. He opened up his own shop, and this is it. But yeah, this is the building. Okay, well, where's Mike? What is he doing?
Came as fast as I could when I saw you guys pulling up the driveway.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, what the heck is this?
This is another one of my cheap Chinese piece of equipment.
When they told me that you were fixing everything, I guess I didn't really understand what they meant.
I'll do a little bit of anything and everything. Small engines, big engines, American, Chinese, everything in between.
Sweet. So yeah, I have an appointment here. But it's not to get my car fixed.
Oh, I heard you were looking for a little bit of side work.
Yes. So we probably should take a look at that.
We can go inside. So I've got a Lexus inside on the lift. We can go take a look and see what I've got going on there.
Sweet.
So this is a 2001 Lexus RX 300 all-wheel drive, and they brought it in because it's having some issues with wheel speed sensors. Basically, under 5 miles an hour, it's trying to grab the right side and bring the whole vehicle to a stop, and we've got to change that. So we've got a new wheel speed sensor. I've already diagnosed it. I've even got the old one removed because I needed to match it to the new one. But we'll put a new left front wheel speed sensor in. That should pick up these issues that we're having at low speeds and get his issue remedied. But after that, we do have a truck that we need to do some pretty heavy work on.
Yeah, that's the one that you kind of mentioned a little bit about, so...
Yeah, I've got a few mobile appointments that have been coming in here lately, and I just need a little bit of help with this extra work. So if we can get it knocked out, that'd be great.
Oh, transmissions, I love those, huh?
Silverado, you've already done this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little bit of experience with this exact same, pretty much, what, model? Honestly, body?
Yeah,
it's a little longer, but it's the same.
Yeah, 2003 Chevy Silverado, and unfortunately, this one has lost third gear. So we talked to the customer. This has got about 200,000 miles on it. They've never had the transmission replaced or rebuilt. So we're going to be pulling the transmission out and sending it out for a rebuild before we get it back and reinstall it. So if you could help me out with this, that would be a huge weight off my mind.
Yeah. You know what's funny? The transmission on my truck went out at 200,000 miles.
Really?
Yes. So if you have a Silverado or anything like a GMC or whatever that has that same transmission, right around 200,000 miles, call Auto Magic. So
we've done one or two of them.
It's good work, so definitely make sure to bring it here.
Much appreciated.
So I noticed that you got a couple of toys out here, and I know that we need to get to work and start getting this stuff done, but
we can definitely play around a little bit. So I've got a couple of new little skid steers, some cheap Chinese equipment that I'm doing a video on. and I think it'll be good to have your opinion on these. So yeah, let's have a little bit of fun. Well, I've just got to resurface my driveway, so just move some rock around, lay it down, and level it out. And we'll talk about how it feels.
So it's been about 2 weeks from that last clip. The reason being is we had some storms up here in Kansas. They kind of caused a little bit of damage, even to my house. It's already fixed. It wasn't major, but it did take up some time. Now we also got some new parts, and I'm going to be showing those here in a second. But today is a hot day. It's very hot outside. It's like very humid as well. But that means that it's perfect to power wash this engine because this thing is dirty. So I've decided to paint the valve cover with some crinkle paint, or wrinkle. Is it wrinkle?
Yeah, it's wrinkle with a
I don't know why I call it crinkle.
wrinkle with a W.
Okay, from now on, I will call it wrinkle. Here, can you help me shake a can? So these are all the parts for the Audi. So we have a power steering pump, timing belt, some coils, an oil change, a belt. Over here we have an entire engine seal kit, so every gasket that I need to rebuild this engine. Obviously we're not gonna need all of them because I'm not going that deep. Now over here we have a clutch, which unfortunately I have changed my mind on it. I don't want to use a dual mass flywheel. As you can see, this is dual mass. This is probably the worst packaging I've ever seen in my life. There was no, well actually, there was no packaging, just the box. This thing has been floating around back and forth from when it came. So, I don't know. It's fine, it's just a chunk of steel. It's not really gonna hurt it, but I still changed my mind. I wanna see if I can get a single mass. Now this is the clutch. Now when I was shopping for this clutch, I saw the picture, and I like pictures. It had the slave cylinder on there. But then when it arrived, there was no slave cylinder. And when I read the description, it said that it's only the release bearing, no slave cylinder. So I wanted to replace the slave cylinder, and now I don't have one. I also changed my mind on this, and I want to get a new one. So yeah. The other reason I want to go with a single mass is because from another company, we have a upgraded shifter bushing kit, because the shifter on this thing was super sloppy. It was, you know, sometimes I would shift into third instead of fifth. It was a pain in the butt. Now with a single mass, that it'll feel a little bit better. I think it'll be better for spirited driving. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get it. I'm just gonna install it and be done with it, honestly. This is a wheel liner, but this is the only wheel liner I have. The rest of it, or the other side, and also the splash shield from the bottom, which I also got, is somewhere in the other side of the world. And it's coming by, I don't know, by canoe or something, because it's still not here. It's probably gonna take another 2-3 weeks maybe. Now, what did I not replace? So for the timing belt, I'm not gonna do the timing chain. It was an additional $200, and when I looked at this one is in good shape. I'm not gonna worry about it. I don't have to take the engine out to do a job like that, so I'm just gonna leave it like it is. The other thing is the turbo. The turbo is actually in really good condition. It's just dirty, and getting it rebuilt or buying a new one was either gonna be too much money or just gonna take too long. And I've decided to skip that. I'm just gonna clean it up, put it back in, and a fresh oil change, it should be fine. Now, the only other thing are the tires. Now, the tires are already installed. That cost me right around $500 between tires and installation. Actually, maybe a little bit more because I did have an alignment. So let's just say 600 just to have a nice round number. That kind of brings the total of all the parts to roughly $3,000. Obviously, I have some more fluids that I need to buy, but I think that's right around the money that I've spent so far. Now, if this car wasn't free, those spending this much money on it would have made me cry already, because $3,000 is not cheap, and the parts are not cheap. And now that I need another clutch, it's not gonna get any cheaper. So yeah, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and help me out here, please. So this is the turbo. Now, I believe this thing is in really good shape. Now, we are gonna check it. We're gonna check the wastegate. We're gonna make sure that the shaft does not have much play on there. Now, for the people that don't know what this is, like I said, this is a turbo. This is what makes your car go faster. A lot of manufacturers are using these on cars, and they can be expensive. Specifically this one. This one, if I wanted to get a brand new unit, the same brand as this one, they do still sell them, is $1,500 to $1,600, and that's assuming that shipping is included. But if it's not, it's more. Now, this thing is it's very simple and how it works. Right here in the middle, you have all your oil lines and coolant lines to keep it cooled and to keep it lubricated. Then in here, you have where the exhaust gases go in. They spin this propeller right here. They spin it as it goes through, and it starts spinning this other side over here, which becomes a vacuum. So it'll suck air through here, it'll compress it, it'll increase the pressure, and then it'll spit it out right here on this side into the engine to increase how much air the engine is actually consuming. Now, this little guy right here on the side, which we're gonna be checking, it is the wastegate. This actually opens up this little flap right here to limit the amount of spin that this propeller right here has. But that's basically what this is. Makes your car faster, makes the whooshy noises, and it's probably one of the coolest things that a car can have. So I finished cleaning the turbo. As you can see, it looks a lot better. I did not go crazy on it, but I did check that the wastegate works and the internals are nice and happy. So this thing should have plenty of miles left. Now that this is done, we are going to move on to the timing belt. So this timing belt seems pretty straightforward. As you can see, there's only one sprocket at the top, even though it's a dual cam, because it's driven by the chain back there. So over here, they're allowed to put a cam position sensor, which is still good. And I already pre-loosened these bolts, just so I don't have to have the impact on the on audio, because it's kind of annoying. But we'll pull this pulley off, which is already lined up on the marks. I looked up at the manual. We also have to put the valve cover on, because this mark up here needs to line up with the valve cover, and so I got to do that before I actually pull the belt off, just to be sure that they're perfectly lined up.
Like, kind of scoot a little bit more.
What was my line again? We put the valve cover back on, and as you can see, it's completely painted, and it came out really, really nice. It's not perfect, but it'll be okay.
Now, what about the timing belt?
The timing belt is over there, the new one. So can you go fetch that, sir? Thank you.
Oh, whoa.
Look at that fancy thing. Has RPM on there.
Wow.
I bet that means something.
I think it's gonna look great with the red.
I don't think it will.
It was a joke.
That cover's coming in the mail. This is the cover for the timing belt, the bottom cover. Still dirty, but now that we take it off, we can clean in there. So I'm gonna pull the tensioner because I'm removing the belt. There's probably a better way of doing this, but I'm too lazy to get up and look at the instructions, and I'm pretty sure it'll be fine since all these parts are new. We're gonna replace this, that little guy, that water pump, and obviously the belt. So it shouldn't have coolant in it, but okay, that's a good sign. Not gonna make a mess. Huh. It looks like this was replaced rather recently. It's a little squeaky, but it doesn't have play. Okay, that method made it a lot easier because that belt was not going on there. By doing it that way, I avoid trying to pull it, try to pull the belt around the pulley. These gears, these sprockets that have these sharp teeth, they tend to cut the belt. So I put it on those first, and then I use this one to kind of put it in there. And no, the bolt is not cross-threaded. You have to be careful though going in because it does put a little bit of tension, but it's because this belt's so tight. I pulled all the slack on this side and it was still not enough. Now we're gonna put the valve cover on. So first we gotta put the gasket in. Come on, get in there. There we go. Then we have this one. Let's see now. Okay, make sure everything's good. And whew, look at that. Starting to come together. Now we're working on the coils. We even got the little gaskets because these coils need them, but they don't come with them. The ones that I took out, they not have it, and then whenever it rains, any water gets in there because these are missing. I really don't know why they're not included. They should be, but they're not. Okay, I'm gonna start putting the turbo manifold here. Start assembling this side of the engine. There we go. So this is going to be the oil filter adapter. This is where the oil filter goes. This is where the oil cooler goes. And then also our line for the turbo oil feed line. So it goes right here. I already put the gasket on there. It's a nice metal gasket that goes on there. Now I just gotta run down the bolts carefully, make sure the gasket's lined up, torque them, and I'm done with this. Man, this thing is really coming together. So we're gonna go ahead and put the intake on it, and then there's this bracket here that holds all the accessories. I don't know exactly which one's gonna go first, so I'm just gonna go with the intake. I'm gonna bolt it all down and then torque it, and then hopefully this piece on the side will go on. If not, I have to take it all back apart and do it the other way. Yeah, seems like it'll be fine. Now this entire side is all put back together. Now if you've ever worked on these engines before and you kind of saw the way that I was installing stuff, you might have been screaming at the camera. And yes, I had to take a few things off because I forgot to install this these water lines and water pipes that go behind most of this stuff. So I had to kind of take some stuff off to put it back in. But it's all in there and torqued, and now we're gonna move on to the injectors. I got new seals, and we're gonna pull them all off, and we're gonna put them on a fuel injector cleaner that we just got to make sure that these are perfect before we put them back in the car. So let's go ahead and take this apart. So after cleaning them and testing them, they pass with flying colors, so I'm definitely reusing these. These are perfectly fine. So we are done with the injectors. I still have to get some fuel hose. I forgot about that, so those are really, really bad. But I'll take care of those. I'll make sure to put new ones, and also they're easy to get to, so it can wait a little bit. Now we need to tackle something that I've been dreading. And that, I don't know if I showed it in the last video. Actually, I think I did. The bolt snapped on the compressor. I worked on it for like, I don't know, probably 10 minutes back and forth, lubing it. I couldn't really heat it up without damaging more stuff. So we're gonna try to drill it out, and it's gonna go well. Yeah, it's gonna go well. Unfortunately, I tried my best, but I could not save the compressor. That bolt was so corroded in there, I don't know why. And I tried drilling through the middle, seeing if I could put an extractor on there, but the bolt was seized on there. So I decided to go bigger and bigger and bigger, and now at this point, can't even tap it anymore. The holt's not straight. And yeah, there's no point on wasting more time on this thing. I'm gonna have to get a new one. Project has been a pain lately. Guess we're just gonna have to buy a new one and keep on rolling. Well, that did not go as planned. As you saw, we need to buy a brand new AC compressor. I am not happy about that because that thing was expensive. Now, this car had AC, and this engine's gonna go back in there, and this car's gonna have AC again. So it's coming in the mail. I had to just pull the trigger on it, unfortunately. We also had to find this cover. There's a cover here in the middle. It's a metal cover for the timing belt. I thought it was the actual engine mount that covered it up, but it's not, because I couldn't find anything in the beginning. Even if you look it up as this model, it's just really hard to find. But luckily I was able to look again and I found it. I ordered it. It's coming in the mail, and it should be here right around the same time this top cover comes in as well. So at least they're coming together, which is nice. Now here we have these fuel lines. We didn't have the right size here on hand at Omega, so I went ahead and ordered some new ones, actually some really nice fuel line. I'm gonna reuse these end adapters. Those are fine. It was a cheaper way of doing it, and also I need that fuel hose for other projects. And then also the turbo, like I said, we just went back with the original turbo. We're not gonna rebuild it. I'm not gonna buy a cheap new one. The OEM turbo for this car, even if I think if I get it from another vendor or whatever, it's still $1,500, and these cheap knockoffs are around $500. I wouldn't trust them. I don't think the car would drive the same with a cheaper turbo, in my opinion. So I've decided to just go ahead and reuse this one for now. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. I already checked everything works. So this thing should have plenty of miles left. When it starts giving out, then we'll talk about rebuilding it then. But for now, it's on here for now. So yes, that was an additional $500 to buy all those parts. Now, you might be saying, well, you're still under budget. The car's worth more than that. And yeah, you might be right. Problem is that there's more stuff that I want to do with the car, and the budget is disappearing by the minute, which is a big problem. Now, I don't want to go too crazy because I actually have other projects that are gonna need more money, and yeah, we're running out quickly. Now, if you guys are loving this project and enjoying the pain that it's causing me, make sure to like the video because it really helps out the channel, and I will see you on the next video. Get me some cookies.
I got one left.
Nope, I don't want any more. It could be anything. I'm not good at sarcasm.
Yeah, clearly. Just say.
I think I say nothing now after that.
Freeze Friday.
Freeze Friday.